because we're going to look at the biohazard entry point, right?
Yes. Well, why don't we click use the telepad?
Okay,
With the telepad here right beside
I
you.
see that.
If you and you touch it, and we're going to the biochamber 106 biochamber 1, which is the entrance of the biochamber. We can walk through
Okay,
and do that tour.
you go ahead and you clicked it, and in fact, I came with you.
So basically, what we have here, we're in front of the biochamber. There's two entrances into the biochamber. This is biochamber 1, and then we have biochamber 2. Biochamber 1 is where its base is the landing area, and it's set up. If you notice here, although you can walk through, that was the front entrance, and this is to create an idea of being in a biochamber. We have it set up. This is let them know this is a biohazard area, and if we have individuals who want to come through, you can walk right through. Although you can go right through the tape. We have the biohazard suits that they will put on if they were actually just like in a real laboratory. They will actually handle the organisms. They will have their biohazard suits and what have you. And this is the board I was talking about, my social media board. I just created this board so people can contact or to visit my various social media sites that's online. The board that's behind you, over here in the corner. So that way they can click on that, and hopefully I can put this into the marketplace.
I'm sure you can.
But I found that to be a whole lot easier than just give people my sites. Now what we've done here, this is where we have a changing area for someone want to purchase the biohazard hood, or plus we cover the areas here what CDC puts out on how the garment is the PPEs are supposed to be worn and what they should look like. Right in here, everything is to provide them information.
I see that, yeah, and I'm getting a picture. And of course, there's a website. If I clicked on that, I would be able to go to a website.
Yes, you'll be directed to the website.
Yeah.
Well, I think this one on the outside directs to the website. This one looks like it's just giving the information, but the one that has the hood directs to the website. Now, what we can do we're going to enter the tunnel. Now, just like what you've done here, we came through the area here. This is like you coming through the tunnel. Once you come in here, basically, we're in the biohazard area. And what I've done here in the tunnel, the pictures you see here on the walls, is linking to World Health Organization information about Corona and about SARS. So everything is to provide information.
Now I see this, and I see there's a picture of the SARS of a coronavirus.
Yes. Now this is the first unit, and because I made this the first unit, because this is talking about biohazard. So the whole idea to discuss the biohazard before we get the person into the actual laboratory space where they've been doing actual testing. So here we're presenting the biohazard guidelines from CDC and from the World Health Organization. That's what's basically presenting on the first floor.
I see.
And this first.
Yeah, let me walk over here and so I can see so I can get the image clearly in the video. The image of the screen here. Okay, taking a hot bath does not prevent new coronavirus disease.
Oh yeah, that's World Health. That's the slide you put it up. But as the various information alerts that World Health Organization put out. And you notice the carpet. The carpet is also a picture of the virus.
Yep.
Keeping everything being related. And again, if you click on here, you'll go to the page that tells you about laboratory biosafety frequent asked questions. And then you have your biosafety guidelines, and you click on this particular board.
And they have to know these rules very well.
Oh, yes.
And they have to practice following them, which
yes.
They may have to be in the physical location to do all the practicing following, but they can practice some following here.
But knowing the guidelines and what, because this is what protects us as laboratorians. Guidelines. I'm a stickler for guidelines and following CLIA, which is the Clinical Laboratory Improvement Amendments, which is all any laboratory specimen that's tested in the United States has to be follow the guidelines with CLIA. Now, what I've done out here in this open area, and you already mentioned, we put in where students could come in and sit, and they could actually see the slideshow up from, and this is the various alerts from the World Health Organization. So they can come in here, they can even have discussions about the various cards and the various alerts that's being put out.
Uh-huh. Because they're dealing with frequently asked questions or are
yes.
myths, mythical ideas that people have.
And that's a lot of the myths that CDC's put out. Now, this particular visual tool I found online, and I've noted, I strongly believe in giving credit where credit is due. When I come across a resource or two, I like to share it, but I also like to give credit. This is an excellent resource that I discovered online. I think I have the link here. And you click on it, you can go to the actual page. It shows how the coronavirus disease impacts the human body and how it attacks the lungs and what have you.
Oh, those little globular, those little bumpy little things are probably alveoli.
Yes, yes, exactly.
And
in this section,
go ahead.
It's more guidelines from Centers for Disease Control about handling of the specimen. You have your fact sheets that was in the other area. These are the actual guidelines that are sent out for laboratorians on collecting, handling, and testing the clinical specimens from patients. And again, this is updated. And they'll let you know you can always check when it's been updated. When you go click on the page, it'll carry you to the most updated version of these particular guidelines.
Uh-huh.
So that way the laboratorian has information right at the tip of their fingers. They come in, they can even bring the students in to discuss it, or to come in just to refresh themselves, and hopefully to come in to do some networking with other laboratorians and other medical personnel.
Yeah, they might be, depending on the timing, they might be able to be talking to some people who are considering careers, and they could answer questions about the career.
Yes. Now, one group I've connected with over the years in here has been the Mayo Clinic. They're very active in here. I noticed seen them in here. So there'll be another group that's possibility people can interact with as well. That's one thing about the 3D virtual world. A lot of groups medical personnel using it for simulations, using it for training, using it for conferences, and that's why I elected to use it as a tool to get information to my medical community, to my laboratory community.
Mm-hmm.